menka asembia infirmity. First paragraph.
Okay.
Was say to our future, made up of the present and the unborn, for whom this will, Agyapadie, of a nation is being prepared. Paragraph 5.
Paragraph 5.
Was it currently, with Nanado in total control of the whole entity of Ghana, we have a duty to ensure that we take over the commanding height of the essential fabric of the country, in order that even in the event that Nana leaves the scene after the mandatory 8 years, the sons and daughters of Ochimai will be firmly secured and such control, both financially and economically, that we can no longer be ignored in the battle to control the destiny of Ghana.
Hopeson Adorye uncovers a meticulous plan, a scheme so grand it has sent shockwave rippling through the very foundation of Ghana's political landscape. What we have before us is a narrative that is as compelling as it is unsettling, a story of power, intrigue, and a fierce tug of war for the reins of a nation. Today, we delve into a clandestine plot allegedly orchestrated by Akyem figures within the new Patriotic Party, led by none other than the president himself, Nana Akufo-Addo. At the heart of this tale is a secret book, and not just any book. This 34-page discourse titled Agyapadie, which means inheritance, purportedly authored under the watch of Ghana's finance minister Ofori Attah, unfolds a blueprint for commandeering the critical sector of our precious homeland. We are talking finance, energy, water, and our coveted mineral resources. The breadth of our ambition here is staggering, and one can't help but marvel at the audacity, or shudder at the implications. The ambitions of the Akyem descent with the president at the helm don't stop at industries. No, the blueprint seemingly extends its tendrils to the very soul of our nation, aiming to sway key religious leaders across the spiritual spectrum, from Reverend Charles Agyinasare to the national chief imam. With the voices of the faith be co-opted into the grand design, it is not just the spiritual leaders in this side, even their own party isn't immune to these alleged machinations. The blueprint reportedly targets the Ashantis, aiming to capture the heart of the new Patriotic Party itself. The text explicitly unveils plans to consolidate power among the Akyem, ensuring their dominance persistent well beyond Akufo-Addo's presidential tenure. It lays down a strategy for legacy of control, a fortification of influence that secures the Akyem presence in Ghana's power dynamics for years to come. Now, as viewers of Vybez TV, what's your take on this audacious power grab? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's dissect this together. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to join our community and stay updated with content that moves and shake the very core of our nation's discussion. Agyapadie does not turn blind eye to the media landscape either. The scheme outlines a calculated approach to quell voices of dissent by clamping down on pro-opposition media houses, a move that risks censorship and poses grave threats to the freedom of press. The blueprint doesn't discriminate. It's an all-encompassing gambit that even positions trusted figures within their fold, such as Kennedy Agyapong, Samia Uku, and Kojo Upon Nkrumah in the crosshairs. Integrity and trust, it seems, are merely pawns in the grander scheme of securing power. As Hopeson Adorye, the whistleblower himself, pulls back the curtains on Agyapadie, one has to ponder his timing. The revelation sends us reeling, yet we are left grappling with questions about the agenda and the veracity of the claims. Why now, when Adorye is no longer within the warm embrace of the MPP? Is this a genuine act of concern for the nation, or a play in the Game of Thrones teeming with political vendettas? The implications are profound, and they beg us to question: will Ghana stand ideally by while a select few attempt to claim what belongs to the collective? Your voice matters in this narrative, so reflect on this, debate, and let your opinions echo in the comment section below. Together, let's keep this conversation alive and the truth in plain sight.
Yeah. Look, what was that in Humawi? Your friend Agyapadie. So, Mepacho, what they captured here by me? Now, my phone. Men can't assemble infirmity. Sir Agyapadie. You say a bushia kubi, a natural. Payo Mumba Faswa, Ghana Agyapadie na everybody do or money or mumma, and no massive one, and some. A tinipa or throw forward, and I was sign Ofori Attah. Ewaha. Now, forward, you know, what they say, the first paragraph. First paragraph.
Okay.
Was say to our future, made up of the present and the unborn, for whom this will, Agyapadie, of a nation is being prepared. So, what say a dachi? Any nasitra ye woman, any young kola, any and Kanswa young war mono. Womo, Anna ye, sir, Agyapadie, or mine Agyapadie, Ediama. So, what do you to me, I must say, Mamma Sum? Obi sesa to me na de man no. What the Agyapadie, Ghana Agyapadie dina de ma nasefo. And we are quiet. Now, what say to our foremost king, Ofori Penny, the progenies spread across this world, for whom and to whom alone this sacred document is prepared. Yes, I did when you know the share of Ofori Penny and Munyam. Ghana 40. Hey, Mumia careful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Paragraph 5.
Paragraph 5.
Was it currently with Nanado in total control of the whole entity of Ghana? We have a duty to ensure that we take over the commanding height of the essential fabric of the country, in order that even in the event that Nana leaves the scene after the mandatory 8 years, the sons and daughters of Ochimai will be firmly secured and such control both financially and economically that we can no longer be ignored in the battle to control the destiny of Ghana. Ghana for Muntio. Memmo examples say this is not a fiction.
Actually, a planet.
It's working. Working. In the forward na me more baby. What's it? We free 5. Now we back 7, paragraph 7.
7, yeah.
What's it? In doing this, we need to be strategic. We will have to work with other people from some of the diverse ethnic groups, including some carefully selected people in Ashanti and other diverse ethnicities or land. This would make them believe that they also have a hand in the pie. It will be obscure it will obscure any suspicion that the project is essentially an Ofori project. This point is crucial because with electoral politics, we have to have our eyes on the numbers in the electoral process. We cannot be blatant until we are completely secure in the endeavor. It is especially so because so far the Ashantis constitute the single most populous ethnic groups in the country. So, it is Ashanti for the young man, and I say, I am calling the Agagan. Paragraph 90 in your kind. Paragraph 9. Was it although the Ashanti group within the current MPP is gearing itself to take over the party after Nana's tenure in 2024? It will be ideal if we could work to bypass them in 2024. Now, with hard work, we could work to pass the mantle over to non-Akan person, preferably from the north, under whose presidency we could secure the maturity of our takeover project. Where a prophecy is here. So being a turn down what church and they say a fiction and you interest anyone or a prophet. I know you're a prophet.
A serious issue.
What's say? Ashanti region, and that's Ashanti for our MPP party. Or more prepared to take over from Nana Akufo-Addo. Yeko primaries. Alan Chamantin from Ashanti. Boacha Japo from Ashanti. Adainimo from Ashanti. Akutofiye from Ashanti. Kobna Japon from Ashanti. 5 people. 5. Out of 9 you say you know Mokoye. Kojo Poko is a Wabraka on 6. Yeah. So wamu nyese wamu be bypass Ashanti region. Traditionally, Ashanti region is superb, very strong. Otumfo for UK. Yamano kwan ye be so ano in the palanquin. E wo UK. Akwesida no kwakwedi no. O mama pa ye be so ano. O mu be gi a whole street near Brukete ne ayi. ohini bia ni ho betima ko yesa dem. It is a sadia. Then let's cut the Ashanti politically. It is a betima ya so a yampe obi a wo ye non-Atam person. Yemfa mano. You see that man go anko preview e bia na get. Hey, I'm gonna be back on preview e bia na get am me. But we move ahead, preferably a person from the north. And then me no work as a MPP Frabera over him.
No.
Officially. Omo sosidi sa prophecy no abam. Look. Mame Emma one day.
Na be good watch ro mu we die.
Book we dey mashada kind power.
Asa be bia wo pesa wo kan so watch ro din agu ho. Se be a wo hwa wo mere.
O mantra.
Dabi me pesa obi be wia enti na match ro din.
Okay.
Wo wia pa wo bie ya no bia ho say media. So ne tie no. Hwe. Sa Labadi beach in Sensemu na Senate to na yenko any ade den ana director general of Senate Dr. Tinkrai ye nadi obi amwo hu ne ye yinadi
debi letter no so timi se nipa o chore na bu afu pa
papa no ye dey o me twa me hu wo America basisi a onyafo nkola ye Galaway
proceed on leave
because now he was not in agreement on certain things. Now, share near Agyapadie Eka is talking about Mamema head in answer. Is talking about banking. Banking.
Okay, higher banking.
Banking or much chim mother. Mother near Bank of Ghana. Biological children. Ghana indigenous banks.
Banks.
And they were adopted children. Adopted children hona mekono Absa Eco Bank Yimuni ne Gaida or they adopted them. Now on the adopted Eco Bank we have two routes of entry into the institution. First is through Senate, which has a seat on the board of Ecobank Ghana by virtue of its shareholding. The seat is occupied by the Director General of Senate. In phase 2 of our agenda, Kofi Bosompem Osafo-Maafo, who is a Deputy Director General of Senate, should be made the Director General to give him the seat on the Ecobank Ghana board.
Hey.
On the Ecobank Ghana board. And now we can say who is the Director General of Senate.
Bosompem.
What take his seat in all? Yama Besu. Yama Besu. Secondly, Papa we madam for me respecting no pandi. Ya born wife with him in pesa me ko. Wo de ma me si ho no. Wonya popo de bi na kan ya wa.
Wa be wo de wo.
Wo be de.
O pe say.
O kwa
anda bank. Wo be ku se ne sitie. Hwe eti ya ti ho no. Ama abusuako baako. Eje Ghana Agyapadie nyina. So Capital Bank, why first you go pakwasi Indum Bank and then you atro ha.
No dey wa ha. And there's a portion of my kind.
I know you no ha say no. Now, Uber under insurance your mother your biological and you adopted. So now, why you mo fa so a ye pia SST esinchen. Near kofa enterprise insurance and no dey bibia enterprise insurance wonim nura.
Can Ofori Attah.
Government agibia. Ya force obia. One fanfa enterprise insurance, you are in trouble.
And as SIC na your mind there na e basa.
Ya jatu baby. Ya jatu baby. Hwe ukọ bank sector. Kwa ye fa so ye di data bank. And na ye bibia loans a ye gigi nyina ne ade. Nipa ebusuan ba akọpe. Ya no mu de ye Galaway for. Who can we ya? Obeti MPP mbe so re agina e ba be defend this rot. Now what you want now obre. Yes say to our future, present and unborn.
To mo ye ade na se be ye omo ma omo nya wo omo mpo no omo mebre.
What can you in area or partner will say Ghana has say this tribe is going to be the movers and shakers of Ghana.
Indeed.
It is a bibi bakoswa. Omo no kasape eno no obi abedi akiri.
Obi abeti order from above.
O pesika dia ye bibia eho na obeko ene ande. We are here, we are quiet. We benya obi no aba begina no wo defend it. I will not.
Now my ni mu ayetimi aboka ma ye ka tia. Na ye pre carry forward.
Ye more Ghana farmer nipa baako. Aye nyina ye dia. Ye nyina ye dia. Hwe no be ba kwasi ndu. Ye no here no.
Atwra to dada.
Ye twa to.
Ni din nyina wo.
Me pesa me kan ne honum no because of Sadi Wenti. So
okay.
Because of that, and me pesa me kan.
Come across me bebo. Yemre.
Mami some example. What if you na ka say fictional? Then that writer we need to look for him. Now on professor on this country.
Hey.
Meaning, edin be me body natural. The writer no maboni do Madam Fupa.
You are sure Agyapadie book no.
Madam Fupa, we dey me body natural as we are moving on. Me body natural. What dey aboni din, what dey co-writers ni ade. Wo mo edin nwa be bia hyehyehye o monza. The technical team led by DM Ofori Attah should further evaluate the following details in order to choose the appropriate site. Galamsay. According to this book, Omo 332 Galamsay companies. Ninjina ayu ha. Omo ni. Omo na hyehyana. The Northern Gold Coast Enterprise. So and so Amanfi East. Wasa Amanfi East. Ufa say ya Takwa Insoyo Municipal. Just say every district they are there. Christian Nzima East. Omo chiche omo nyina gum. Eti wana ka che o say Galamsay ebetu ade. Wana ka za ni show. Se ebeti metu ade dia. Na che say esese abansi samba. Won say o mama. Don't say o mama. Mami tro ade bako. Undermining oil and gas industries. What did he? Was it our mining as well as oil and gas strategies constitute a major plank of the blueprint for controlling the extraction of natural resources, which God has generously bestowed on Ghana, particularly the Akyem land. Was it to this end? A cursory look at the approved concessions should be looked at. Asante Bedietro is to lead the process to take over this concession detail below and consolidate them into the standard Japa LLC incorporated in Jersey. Japa Ango Parliament. Sir, your minerals say you or moon eba vegetate royalties in the Gagaon. Agyinasare. The BT Ghana. Now, on this note, I will salute the minority in Parliament.
Yeah, and the woman who ye ding, so a mom penny.
Share a Japa LLC incorporated in Jersey. Ya call register company no abrochiri. And here they buy a same rough who be never be first one. What would you ever have?
Ofori Attah.
There be
hey, as Antipedi
or so or make sure. Says nobody in our so. And a Parliament. Parliament board Mugalawe, and yes, and mineral resources, a yibia or mujibia, a quabusian babo. How can we live in a country like this? How can we live in a country like this? Ghana, baby, I go near you know, mamma pono honum, kama. I had you now, takeover. I didn't as a state. Yes, Simbo Bian Conco to Galamsay, a war, your quiet. Now, man for whom the engine stop war. Do you know one strategy?
I didn't see I can't time the presidency in our two on the line.
Do you know the strategy? You bet you may use just 3 days. Your baby will be a rapper. That's what the strategy about me said, bro.
Wow.
Now, Ghanaian forces, or more corn, or more fly, or more jet was Rohonum. Near start to say a spray quiet room, how the bill raffle. Why the bill raffle? Obiam raho. As yes Debbie. Yes, a boy a quiet home. Na ebusia bi according to this book.
It's to say ya you know because we are the taxpayers' money. Near the ama operation the Galam stop was a wine. Near Sunday bomb hoka. All in the name say yes, stop it, Galam says you to stop it.
Okay? Telecommunication. I'll answer what bad. say digitalization betima koye no eye say low data low cost data now we talk data 100 cedis any 3 days nasa how can you drive that ninjina no ehun sam hyehyɛ ha ojaje bisa telco so bisa omo me say ya munyusu RTI no munyusu ahifa no moto omo yi ene sen eye den na sa pricing we eba first na go mu nyina to no NCA fofofo the first to data e che ya di nkrofobia be hyehyem enti no NCA ema 1/3 omo na je 2/3 enti telco so no betima to titwa bi ewo NCA na fa kese na no akwakoto no ba bi ono so no be say 3 times the price NCA de be ma enti ho na betua me ne wo na etua ekogo abusuan ba ko account mu na o mo ache eno na why
this is wickedness
so there je no hwe me say the Paul trust adewe or prophet o amanfo bi so bi na hye ne dem no tro no de to abonten anam se nipa ne prophet listen the political terrain the political terrain I don't want the party African Kennedy Agyapong aba na afi Samuel Okudi so Dombo do so now mo the roaring factor aba other minor parties ni ne kaka ho religious and chieftaincy nti other smaller parties no omo kasa you should understand na hwe bebia na omo kasa no ko ni na wa
achichira show manum na no ba ko bia manitua no abo kama se na wo wani ambra opepa wapa na wo kasa ti say obi a wo ye government spokesperson ni
cast bebre so enyo na kana asemi nye de cast bebre
ai me say ana wo president ni bia dia na say den what's other the PR ama government almost o mu ni se ha
o mu sha say she o say ya don ye oh yeah hand over that
ewa ha
kroma ye nyina wo kroma mo hand over what the security for on am yes on the DJ ade wo mu ni ani wo mu ni adwene o mo hu say obi e pe change change no on pet Daniel Bumwa mo angasa on hu say what's it as we make final push for EC registration? It is sub IUA about 2019. It is important to roll out our final onslaught to ensure that NDC eventually become a fringe party. Whereas we do not expect the electoral commissioner herself to blatantly cripple the NDC, we could deploy the other non-EC functions, such as the need to maintain law and order. So using our people within the security agencies to frustrate NDC supporters from either registering or voting. Anomabodi, Brechampon will be the key in this endeavor.
Until no so hand over. Also, I'm a brave you come say Yabem. Because one of that done another day, they hand you over. Yeah, hand you over. Would you how? We have someone come say Yabem.
But before then, we must have a critical evaluation of our strength and weakness in order to be well positioned for the task ahead. Now, the party, party. So, the youth and women's wing of our party remain our weakest link. Every effort must therefore be made to get our national organizer to fill in the gap. Same apply to getting Eslausu to assist the women's wing. I do way by 2019, 2020 elections. Eslausu Ablekuma West. No one nam Tolong, no one nam Boga Central, no one nam Wa, no one nam Babia. And then never had it. We should assist the women's wing. Eti, the writer, the great prophet of our time, say a calculated plan. That's when you see a G2 say it's a fiction there. Now, the greatest. Can say prophet in our time. As a CATV
because they are doing the same thing.
You almost catch a great Japan, Adam. You almost can't so move here. Say Alan ever be take over, they should try and then bypass him. Yanko for being free enough. Abam. Bibi o muka obuku inubia abam. Dombo do the American crown ememobo.
We are quite fast to.
Omu yes e be tunu.
Ya tunu simple na me bra ya emobo. Oh. What ya konwam no ada.
Ya tunu so simple. Hwe. Ma obia emphasize the way endi agro. Me de obia hu say eye book mu na American free. And I'm not the writer. And Ghana nipa bebre ekita sa the way American. Enti e be biebiem, ye be ma Ghana for ho. No mun take a wise decision. Because national cake no yeji na yedia adenti and I say ye. Now the national situation as regard to the media landscape me babe king can baby actually no one who said nyama essay air cover me babe king can hey what can you do
oh to ne bo
what can you do
o ti be projection man si pepe say dia say
Eslausu on closure of opposition media. We score Eslausu 70% for her execution of the agenda to close down pro-NDC radio and television stations. While we praise her for closing media entities such as Radio XYZ, Capital Radio, Munche FM, and many more, she scored some low marks in the implementation of the strategy. We expected her to leave Radio Gold from the list for obvious tactical reasons. She could have waived their debt like she has done for our friendly stations such as Ask FM in Kumasi. She could have been fired for the avoidable backlash in strategy, but for her long-standing role as Nane's protege.
Hey! Bacha honi enchirem.
Enchirem bacha
honi enchirem.
Phase 2. Tier phase 2. Phase 2 of media control. Was it there is no doubt that Joy 99.7 FM is and the multimedia group will remain an industry leaders in the communication sphere of the country. While relying on them as a veritable ally, anti-MPP agenda by some of their staff does not pretend well to us. We were left with no choice but to have used our voice, in quote, to threaten Manasseh Azuri Awuni. While his publication on the past inured to our political benefit, he has overstretched himself in his attempt to assume an air of neutrality. He was influential to our historic victory, but his constant attack on government culminating into the militia documentary was most unfortunate. Okay? Oka, some multimedia, omu leading in the airwaves. Awa hasi. Na ejuma omu yeye edeboa MPP mo ba victory no. Good. Na so some of the elements womu a omu akwakoye omu akwakoye anti government. Enti no omu sheda no omu use boys edi threaten Manasseh Azuri ebe mo na zama Manasseh Azuri anyane akwankwa South Africa boy de ho adwa ni ye ka that time na me hu we me say ebe de na sade we abam enya no kre sa na no kre pa sa na no kre enti se obi na tena ne dem trotro sade we ema no ba out 2019 na after 2020 election Samuel we nyina esisi a me say let us look for the person. Let us look for that person. Oh, me boy, me say DM Ofori Attah. We say oye co-writer. Oye madam for minimum. Now, wohwe hijacking of JBC. Enye jumada. Now, the judiciary and governance in Ghana. Yem party court. So that the next 20 years, they can be in control. I don't want to see nominating more people to Supreme Court. Agenda in here.
Comment, like it, subscribe it. Atomano photo or my catch us the latest. Any exclusive via beto from Rubinya. na bo na ma biase no etimi akonka Nyankopon so na onyo kese eso benisa ete amamen